Hello, and thank you for tuning in. I'm Freyboy15, and this is Space Engineers. More specifically, this is a planetary run I've been doing, and I kind of made a promise on a website. I will not tell anyone which one it was, but I said I was going to give a little expose of the base I've been putting together since, well, I finally actually got a game to the point where I have a base. And two, I finally got a game to the point where I actually have a base. And I started with the basic star system survival, where I dropped in a pod, picked a place to land, and tore the pod down and built a base. Anyway, I'm going to be heading out in just a moment to show you all of the fantastical stuff I've built. And I timed this so that way the sun is just coming up over the horizon, so to speak. So, yeah, the overlay still doesn't match the cryopods. Kind of disappointing. So, howdy everyone. Oops. Arg, that's right. I need to fix my controls. I was going to do a little wavy thing, but I can't. So, right here we've got my assembler, which is right now rigged up. Arg, I cannot see anything. Yeah. Alright, so it's rigged up with those two efficiency modules, which give it... No, wait, I've got two... I've got two power efficiency modules and one productivity module. The power one is on the top and bottom, and then here we go. So this place is entirely sealed, although I'm going to do some reworking to make it even better with actual airlocks, because I found out a really cool way to put airlocks into your walls so they stay one block thick. It's phenomenal. Anyway, so refinery rigged up with two efficiency modules and two power modules, and yeah, the solar's starting to come in. I've got 12 batteries hooked up. 6 of them are specifically for main power, 6 of them are somewhere else, which I'm using for reserves, just in case I ever get to the point where I actually need 12 batteries. And some of you may have noticed, but I am running a few mods. The ones that I know off the top of my head are the Better Rocks, the Better Stone mod, which I love because it basically makes gathering ore a lot more interesting / fun. And I don't really know the names of any of the other ones because I don't have internet. But one of them, there's that cargo management script by, I cannot remember the name because I've never used it, but I thought this mod was just a programming block that had the script preloaded. It's not. So, again, I don't have internet. I had internet when I set this world up, but I don't anymore. And then I've got these cool curved solar panels. I'm guessing that's what the CSP stands for. And that, I think, also had these, I don't know, extra strength batteries. Yeah, and then I've got this, okay, so yeah, the Rider power plants mod. That's handy that it's in there. And then there's another one which has these really cool additional window styles. I kind of wish that they were better organized, but it's kind of an old mod. And as far as I'm aware, those are it. Yeah, about 4 mods. Unless, that power thing is extra. I don't know. But that's it, as far as I'm aware. I'll have to double check when I actually have internet. So, I got these lights set up back before. I updated this on Monday, which, considering I'm recording this on the 16th of March, which is a Thursday, I had them put up over the previous weekend, and I updated it on, let's see, 4 days ago, so the 12th on Monday. So that's how recent this is for version-wise, but I had these lights put up before that, and it was really annoying not having them be on and knowing, whether they were working properly or not. So that's going to get reworked, so it's actually, efficient. And this was I basically have this thing set up to be a small mining outpost, and this is supposed to be a way for miners to drop down into the shaft. But when I updated, I have this weird little problem where sometimes it catches on the blast door and then starts, like that, and it basically explodes every time. Now, you'll notice there's a small gap here, but there isn't one on this side, and I cannot for the life of me figure out why. It's one grid. There should not be any, shift like that. But, yeah, kind of disappointing because this thing was awesome. You just ride it down to the bottom of the shaft, and then you can go out and mine, come back, put all the ore in this cargo container. The entire thing fits into one block. It's awesome. And yeah, I'm using a lot of these. I like them. I like the way they look. So over here we have my hydrogen tank with an an air vent on the bottom, which is sucking in air so my oxygen generator doesn't have to work to pressurize. Then I've got this large cargo container, which, if I had the cargo manager thing hooked up, would have been my repository for ores and ingots and whatnot. And then this is where stone goes, because since I have the better stone mod, all ores that are alloys, basically, give out gravel. So I don't need to mine down stone to get gravel. And also, interesting thing on the update, all the rocks now show up as the same size and don't, fall together anymore. I hope that gets fixed soon. And I am on the stable branch, which I just found out today is being, the only branch. It's becoming the only branch. So this is my garage, which has got this really cool design for an airlock. I do not know if anyone else has done this, but I was thinking of it and came up with it and put it in and everything. I was thinking of putting in sensors, but that was too much work and finagling, and I could never get the stupid thing to detect you in the right spot. But yeah, so this place is airtight, except when that door opens. And here we have a little buggy, the first one I had that I've been working on. It hooks up to there. And there's the air vent. That's what that second pipe coming in was for. Weird thing with wheels, whenever I drive this thing, it hitches to the left. Every time. Powered, non-powered, just coasting along, pulls left. It's probably a glitch with the wheels, but yeah, so I've got the lights. So this place is pretty well illuminated. And then I've got these cool windows which can shut. And they are airtight because I specifically made sure to choose the one that has glass. And then down here is where the reserve power is, and I'm also filling the place up with any timer blocks. And the update that I got on Monday also broke the recharge. So you'll notice it's on recharge, but the output is actually showing. So yeah, it's weird. So that one's done, and I can start up the next one. There we go, 11 minutes. I've got a whole lot of solar running right now. But yeah, so that jack was something I came up with several playthroughs ago for getting your wheeled vehicles up to the height of your connector. And it also goes down so that way you can get at your undercarriage while it's connected up. And I've also got a little, that timer block down there is specifically for letting this vehicle egress. So this vehicle has a button on one of the toolbars, which starts that timer block, which disconnects it, turns the parking brake on, and then opens the door up. So, completely ready to go all at the push of a button. And I have reached space. There's a pirate raiding post just inside the gravity well. So, yeah, I've been to space. Not too keen on going there anytime soon. Until I set up an actual base, get a large ship or something, or at least get weapon capable. Resources are scarce, I'm still doing ore survey. But yeah, this sucker is beefy. And it's got 8, I think. 8 of them. Yeah, 8 small atmospheric engines to get it into transition. Nope, not 8. I added 4. 12. So, yeah, 12 specifically in the upwards direction. I have ion in all directions for space mobility, and then I've got hydrogen in all directions if I get into either combat situations or otherwise need to get somewhere in a hurry. And these batteries hold a lot of power. When this thing is, fully running the ion system, I still have 3 days of power. And that's going in 3 directions at the same time. And this thing also has an ore detector. Yeah, there's the ore detector, antenna. It has got, I've got the oxygen generator over here, and I've got an oxygen tank right here. And these solar panels, I was kind of hoping I could get the solar panels hooked onto those rotors so the ends of them were on the rotation point, so I could fold them out so that way they'd more or less be, flat and still absorbing the maximum amount of sun, so I could just point the cockpit towards the sun and get the best power input. But no, can't do it. Mounting points need work or something. But yeah, as it stands, I can rotate these around. So depending on how I'm landing, I'll pick up better or worse light. And they have to be in the opposite configuration, so that way the ion engines don't accidentally take out the lower ones. And then over here, I built this one a little bit. I built it after that one over there. This one is my get to space where I found iron ore and uranium as fast as possible, mine it up, store it, and get back down before any of those aggressor drones from the raiding outpost find me. Luckily, if I hide in an asteroid, I can sneak outside in person and grind the thing down before it can shoot at me. So I've taken apart like 8 of them, just packed them into that container, and then drop them back down here. The thing can actually come back down fully loaded, which is awesome. And then this thing over here was something I built over the last 2 days. It's more or less finished and is kind of the crown jewel of my space engineer's expertise. I originally built it to be a trailer for the little rover in there, but until the wheel thing gets fixed up, this thing is too difficult to drive as a trailer, so it's got a cockpit on the other end. So to get up onto it, I've got this cool lift, which I'm using 2 rotors set up to allow for, I think the term is linear motion without rotation. So the lift just goes straight up, and those let you know when it's safe to push the button again, because yeah, this thing's run on timers, and these things are safety locked when they're not being used. I've got these folding out solar things. I'm not sure whether to call them wings or fins or what have you, but this button here folds those up, and I've got blinky lights on both ends to, you know, act as a warning system. They come up and they're the sides to the vehicle. And this vehicle was built as a dock for that. That is my mining ship. 4 drills surrounding a large thruster, and fully loaded, this thing can haul about 200,000 kilograms. I believe that kilogram is the unit they use. Yeah, kilograms. And all around, this is a pretty nice ship, although it's not as maneuverable as I would like. And every time I reload the world, it turns on its inertia dampener, so this thing starts drifting away. So every time I reload, I've got to hurry out here as fast as I can to keep it from flying off. But pretty solid, and the entire thing is conveyored up, so I can hook up a vehicle onto that thing, and it's got 2 axes of rotation, so I can take it over just about any terrain. There we go. And don't have to worry about it too much. And both of those vehicles can dock up to the main base. That right there. Although that thing is... I haven't tried it yet after I put in the garage. I'm kind of nervous because it's kind of a tight fit with those solar panels. Oh, I forgot to show this off. This is my solar tower, I guess. I've got one of these really big solar panel things back here, 2 of the smaller ones up front, and 18 regular solar panels hooked up on these rotors, and they are set up so that way as the sun starts going up, I hit a button and it tracks it. And since I have a hard time remembering to actually push the button, I don't typically push the button. So this is usually how they look. And yeah, this door here, specifically because when those things are docked up, I can't reach the cockpits from the ground. So I just climb out up on top of here and I can get into the cockpit. And once I finish working up those doors to be fully sealed, this base should be... I could probably save this as a blueprint and use it just about anywhere on any planet. And yeah, that's the entire base right there. As it, you know, currently stands. If I can get some scripts actually on my system so that way I can load them in, I will, you know, populate this corner with some programmable blocks, get some LCD screens up with some actual information, maybe get some power automation in here because I know there's a script that handles batteries for charging and, you know, decharging or whatever the term is. But yeah, the way that they're broken right now, I don't really think it'll work. Oh, I've got another there we go. I've got a little... Finally figured out how to get the small rotor heads onto large rotors. So I've got this cool little rotating emergency light beacon, which I can actually see from about 10 kilometers up in the air, which helps me figure out which side of the lake I need to land on when I'm coming in for a landing. Man, I could just stand here and watch that for hours. But don't have time for that. So that's my base. If you're gonna leave a comment, you know, comment on how my video system, style, whatever, works, or, you know, things about the base which you noticed that I haven't pointed out, because I bet there are some stuff in there that I did not point out, or whatever. You know, just, it's my first video. Leave me some tips, leave me some pointers, leave me what you liked, leave me what you maybe didn't like. Try not to be vitriolic, because I'll just ignore that. But, yeah. El Casa Freyboy 15, pardon my very, very horrible Spanish. So, that's it.
No station fuel.
And no station fuel, because I'm on solar! Alright, so, this is Freyboy 15 signing off.